It was the first day of classes in the Interstellar Academy, and young Crixlix was filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation. As a promising student from the Zentrixian homeworld, he had worked tirelessly to earn a coveted spot at this prestigious institution where the brightest minds from across the galactic community came to hone their skills. Crixlix nervously entered the towering lecture hall, his multifaceted eyes taking in the sea of unfamiliar faces, Blorpians, Snarbex, Ixnarians, and more. He found an empty seat near the front, eager to make a good impression on his new instructors. The chatter in the room quieted as a tall, imposing figure strode to the front of the class. Crixlix recognized him instantly, Professor Zilnoth, the renowned expert in xenobiology and interstellar diplomacy. All eyes turned to the professor as he cleared his throat and began to speak. Welcome, students, to Interstellar Studies 101. Over the next 2 semesters, you will be immersed in the rich tapestry of alien cultures, technologies, and policies that govern our vast interconnected galaxy. Crixlix sat up straighter, his antennae twitching with anticipation. This was exactly the kind of curriculum he had dreamed of studying. Now, before we dive into the syllabus, Zilnoth continued, I have a special assignment for you all. It may seem deceptively simple, but I can assure you it will challenge even the most brilliant minds in this room. The professor proceeded to distribute small datapads to each student. Crixlix eagerly activated his eyes scanning the information displayed. This datapad contains a summary of the homeworld and culture of a species known as humans, Zilnoth explained. Your task is to thoroughly analyze this information and prepare a comprehensive report on human society, technology, and psychology. I want you to identify both their strengths and weaknesses, and how they might interact with the galactic community. A murmur of confusion rippled through the classroom. Crixlix furrowed his brow as he reread the assignment. Humans? He had never even heard of such a species before. How could he be expected to analyze an entire alien civilization with just a brief summary? The professor raised a hand, silencing the students. I know this may seem like a daunting task, but I have faith in your abilities. You have all been selected for this academy because you represent the finest young minds in the galaxy. I want to see what you can do with this easy homework assignment. There was a hint of amusement in Zilnoth's voice as he dismissed the class, leaving the students to grapple with this unexpected challenge. Crixlix hurried back to his dormitory, datapad in hand, determined to prove his worth. As he delved into the information about humans, he was struck by both the similarities and stark differences between their world and his own. Humans, it seemed, were a species of bipedal carbon-based life forms hailing from a planet called Earth. They possessed a wide range of physical characteristics, from towering giants to diminutive individuals. Their technology, while primitive by galactic standards, was nonetheless ingenious, with advanced computing devices, sophisticated transportation, and even crude forms of space travel. But it was their psychology and social structures that truly fascinated Crixlix. Humans appeared to be fiercely independent, driven by a wide range of emotions, and prone to both exceptional acts of cooperation and horrific violence. Their societies were fragmented into countless competing factions, each with their own unique customs, beliefs, and power structures. As Crixlix pored over the data, his mind raced with questions. How could such a disunified species have developed interstellar travel? What factors contributed to their technological progress, and what held them back from achieving true galactic integration? Most puzzling of all, how had they managed to survive long enough to even reach this stage of development? Crixlix spent the next several days immersed in his research, drafting and redrafting his report. He scoured the Academy's databases for any additional information on humans, piecing together a comprehensive understanding of this enigmatic species. When the deadline for the assignment arrived, Crixlix nervously submitted his work, anxious to see how his peers had fared with the same challenge. As the students gathered for the next lecture, an air of anticipation filled the room. Professor Zilnoth stood before them, a gleam in his eyes. Well, class, I must say I am impressed by your efforts. Many of you have produced insightful and thoughtful analyses of human civilization. However, there is one report that stands out above the rest. Crixlix felt his heart's race as the professor's gaze settled on him. Crixlix, if you would please come forward and present your findings to the class. Swallowing hard, Crixlix made his way to the front of the lecture hall. He took a deep breath and began to speak, his confidence growing as he shared his discoveries about the humans. In my study of this species, I was struck by the sheer complexity and unpredictability of human behavior. On the one hand, they exhibit remarkable ingenuity, resilience, and adaptability, qualities that have allowed them to thrive on their harsh homeworld and even venture into the stars. Their curiosity, creativity, and determination are truly admirable. Crixlix paused, his antennae twitching thoughtfully. However, humans also possess a dark side. Their capacity for violence, greed, and self-destruction is deeply unsettling. Their societies are rife with conflict, oppression, and environmental degradation. It is difficult to reconcile these contradictions. The classroom was silent as Crixlix continued, detailing the humans' unique physiology, their wide-ranging cultural traditions, and their rapidly evolving technological capabilities. He discussed the potential challenges and opportunities presented by future contact with this species, highlighting both their strengths and their vulnerabilities. By the time he finished, Crixlix could feel the weight of his classmates' stares. Had he done enough to impress the professor? Had he truly grasped the essence of this bewildering alien civilization? Zealnoth stepped forward, a rare smile spreading across his face. Excellent work, Crixlix. You have demonstrated a remarkable aptitude for cross-cultural analysis and an impressive understanding of this unique species. I dare say your report has left the rest of the class rather stumped. The professor turned to address the room, his voice tinged with amusement. Humans, it seems, are a deceptively complex and challenging subject. Many of you struggled to reconcile their contradictions, to understand how such an underdeveloped species could have achieved interstellar travel, and to predict their potential impact on the galactic community. Crixlix felt a surge of pride as Zealnoth continued. But Crixlix has proven that with diligence, creativity, and an open mind, even the most daunting easy assignment can be conquered. I hope you all take note and apply these lessons in your future studies. As the class erupted in a smattering of bewildered applause, Crixlix couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. He had risen to the challenge, delving deep into the mysteries of human civilization, and in doing so, he had not only impressed his professor but also gained a newfound appreciation for the boundless diversity of the galaxy. Little did Crixlix know that his understanding of humans was just the beginning of a lifelong fascination, one that would shape the course of his academic career and perhaps even the future of interstellar relations. Over the following semesters, Crixlix's fascination with humanity only grew. He eagerly devoured every scrap of information available on this enigmatic species, from historical accounts to cutting-edge xenobiological research. While his classmates moved on to study other areas of interstellar affairs, Crixlix remained fixated on the humans. He wrote numerous papers exploring their unique psychology, their technological development, and their potential impact on galactic civilization. His professors were both intrigued and perplexed by his singular focus, but they could not deny the depth and rigor of his work. Upon graduating at the top of his class, Crixlix was approached by the Interstellar Diplomatic Corps, who recognized his exceptional talent for cross-cultural analysis. They offered him a prestigious position as a xenoculture specialist, tasked with facilitating contact and negotiation between the galactic community and newly discovered species. Crixlix eagerly accepted the opportunity, knowing that humanity would be the primary focus of his work. He spent the next several years traveling to the far-flung corners of the galaxy, gathering intelligence and forging connections with diverse civilizations. All the while, he continued to refine his understanding of the humans, anticipating the day when formal contact would be established. Then, the fateful moment arrived. A distress signal was detected emanating from the outskirts of known space, a human vessel, stranded and in need of assistance. Crixlix was among the diplomatic team dispatched to respond, his heart racing with a mix of trepidation and excitement. As Crixlix's shuttle approached the battered human craft, he caught his first glimpse of the species that had so captivated him. The sight of the humans, huddled and disoriented, was both familiar and deeply unsettling. Their fragile bipedal forms, their wild expressions, and their erratic behavior all seemed to defy the norms of galactic civilization. Crixlix took a deep breath and stepped out of the shuttle, his multifaceted eyes scanning the humans with a mixture of fascination and caution. He had studied their kind for years, but now, face to face with these alien beings, he felt a profound sense of both wonder and unease. Clearing his throat, Crixlix addressed the humans in their own language, a skill he had meticulously honed. "Greetings, travelers. I am Crixlix, representative of the Interstellar Diplomatic Corps. We have received your distress signal and are here to offer assistance. Please, tell us how we can help." The humans regarded Crixlix with a mixture of awe and trepidation, their eyes wide and their movements erratic. One of them, a tall, muscular individual, stepped forward, his expression hardening. "What the hell are you?" the human demanded, his voice laced with suspicion. "Where the fuck are we, and who the hell are you people?" Crixlix suppressed a sigh, realizing that his carefully rehearsed diplomatic approach would likely be of little use with these volatile beings. He had studied humans extensively, but the reality of interacting with them was proving far more challenging than he had anticipated. Nonetheless, Crixlix remained calm and composed, determined to navigate this first encounter with the utmost care and diplomacy. "I assure you, we mean you no harm," he replied, his tone measured and reassuring. "We have discovered your disabled vessel and have come to provide aid and safe passage to the nearest outpost." The human's brow furrowed and Crixlix could see the tension in his posture. "Outpost? What the hell are you talking about? Where are we?" Crixlix took a step forward, his antennae twitching with a growing sense of unease. "You are currently in the Xyloth system, within the bounds of the known galactic community. I am a representative of the Interstellar Diplomatic Corps, tasked with facilitating contact and cooperation between our peoples." The human's eyes widened and he let out a bark of laughter that sent a shiver down Crixlix's spine. "Galactic community? Peoples? What the fuck are you?" He turned to his crewmates, his expression a mix of confusion and fear. "Jesus, guys, I think we're in some serious shit here." Crixlix's heart sank as he watched the humans descend into panic and disarray. This was not at all how he had envisioned their first encounter. His carefully crafted diplomatic approach seemed to be crumbling before his eyes, and he realized that his years of study had not truly prepared him for the raw, unpredictable nature of these alien beings. Steeling himself, Crixlix pressed on, determined to regain control of the situation. "Please, try to remain calm. I understand this must be a deeply unsettling experience for you, but I assure you, we mean you no harm. We are simply here to provide assistance and to facilitate a peaceful dialogue between our peoples." The human leader eyed Crixlix warily, his hand drifting towards a strange device at his hip. "Peaceful dialogue, huh? Well, you'll have to excuse me if I'm a bit skeptical. We've had some bad experiences with peaceful first contact in the past." Crixlix felt a chill run through him as he recognized the subtle threat in the human's words. He knew that he was treading a delicate line, and that any misstep could have dire consequences. The fate of the entire galactic community might very well rest on his ability to navigate this pivotal first encounter. Taking a deep breath, Crixlix spread his hands in a gesture of goodwill. "I can assure you, we are not like any other beings you may have encountered. We are a vast and diverse community, united by a shared commitment to cooperation, mutual understanding, and the betterment of all sentient life. We wish only to learn from you and to forge a lasting alliance that will benefit both our peoples." The human leader regarded Crixlix with a mixture of suspicion and curiosity, his fingers still hovering near the strange device at his hip. Crixlix held his ground, his multifaceted eyes locked with the human's, silently pleading for him to see the sincerity in his words. Slowly, the tension in the human's posture began to ease and Crixlix felt a glimmer of hope. Perhaps, despite the overwhelming challenges, he could still find a way to bridge the gulf between their two vastly different civilizations. As the moments ticked by, Crixlix knew that the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. This was no longer just about his own academic fascination with humanity. The future of countless worlds depended on his ability to navigate this delicate first contact with skill, diplomacy, and unwavering determination. Taking a deep breath, Crixlix steeled himself for the task ahead, ready to confront the unknown and forge a new path for the interstellar community. The tense standoff between Crixlix and the stranded human crew stretched on, each side sizing up the other with a mix of caution and curiosity. Crixlix knew that the fate of the entire galactic community hung in the balance, and he could not afford to make a single misstep. Carefully, he raised his hands in a placating gesture, his multifaceted eyes locked with the wary gaze of the human leader. "Please, let us start anew. I can assure you that we mean you no harm. We are here solely to provide aid and to open a dialogue between our peoples." The human's expression remained guarded, but Crixlix detected a flickering of uncertainty in his eyes. Seizing the moment, the Zentrixian diplomat continued. "I am Crixlix, a representative of the Interstellar Diplomatic Corps. Our organization is dedicated to fostering cooperation and mutual understanding between the diverse civilizations of the galaxy." Crixlix paused, carefully choosing his next words. "I understand that your previous encounters with alien life may have been less than amicable, but I can promise you, we are unlike any beings you have encountered before. We are a vast and varied community, united by a shared commitment to the betterment of all sentient life." The human leader's brow furrowed, his gaze flickering between Crixlix and the rest of the diplomatic team. "All right, let's say I buy what you're selling. What exactly do you want from us?" Crixlix felt a glimmer of relief at the human's slightly more receptive tone. "We simply wish to assist you and your crew in repairing your vessel and providing you with safe passage to the nearest outpost where you can receive further aid and make contact with your home world." The human's eyes narrowed, and Crixlix could see the gears turning in his mind. "Homeworld, huh? So you're telling me we're not on Earth anymore?" Crixlix nodded slowly. "That is correct. Your vessel has traveled far beyond the boundaries of your home system, and you are now within the realm of the greater galactic community." He paused, considering his next words carefully. "I realize this must be an enormous shock to you, but I assure you, we are here to help you navigate this new and unfamiliar environment." The human leader let out a humorless laugh, shaking his head. "Help us, huh? Yeah, forgive me if I'm a little skeptical. Humanity's had a pretty lousy track record when it comes to first contact with alien civilizations." He glanced back at his crewmates, who were watching the exchange with a mix of fear and curiosity. Crixlix felt a twinge of empathy for these lost and disoriented humans. They were truly out of their depth, thrust into a cosmic reality far beyond their previous understanding. He knew he needed to tread carefully, lest he further erode their fragile trust. "I understand your hesitation," Crixlix replied evenly, "but I give you my word that our intentions are genuine. We are not here to conquer or subjugate your people. Rather, we seek to extend the hand of friendship and cooperation." The human leader regarded him skeptically. "Cooperation, huh? And what exactly would that entail?" Crixlix took a deep breath, sensing an opportunity to make a breakthrough. "We have much to learn from one another. Your people have demonstrated remarkable ingenuity and resilience, traits that are highly valued within the galactic community. In exchange for your assistance in understanding your culture and technology, we can offer you access to the resources and knowledge of countless worlds." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Imagine the possibilities, the ability to traverse the stars, to unlock the secrets of the universe, to forge alliances with civilizations beyond your wildest dreams. All we ask is that you be open to collaboration and mutual understanding." The human's expression softened slightly, and Crixlix could see the gears turning in his mind. "Okay, let's say I buy what you're selling. What's the catch?" Crixlix shook his head. "There is no catch, I assure you. We simply wish to welcome your people into the galactic fold and to learn from one another. The path ahead may not be easy, but I believe that together, we can overcome any challenges that arise." The human leader considered this for a long moment, his gaze shifting between Crixlix and his crewmates. Crixlix held his breath, acutely aware that the fate of the entire galaxy hung on this pivotal decision. Finally, the human extended his hand, a tentative smile spreading across his face. "All right, you've got a deal. I'm Captain James Harrington, and on behalf of the United Earth Space Exploration Administration, I accept your offer of cooperation." Crixlix felt a surge of relief and excitement as he grasped the human's hand, the unusual gesture feeling both familiar and foreign. "Excellent, Captain Harrington. I look forward to our collaboration and to the many discoveries that lie ahead." As the two leaders shook hands, Crixlix could sense a shift in the atmosphere. The tension that had once hung thick in the air seemed to dissipate, replaced by a cautious sense of optimism and curiosity. The human crewmates, once wary and distrustful, now regarded Crixlix and his team with a mix of wonder and cautious interest. Crixlix could see the cogs turning in their minds, no doubt grappling with the enormity of what had just transpired. Turning to his diplomatic team, Crixlix gave a nod. "Let us begin the process of assisting our new human friends. We have much work to do, but I believe this is the start of a truly historic partnership." The next several weeks were a whirlwind of activity as Crixlix and his team worked tirelessly to repair the human vessel and facilitate the integration of the humans into the broader galactic community. It was a delicate and painstaking process, fraught with cultural misunderstandings and logistical challenges. The humans, for their part, were a continual source of both fascination and frustration for Crixlix. Their stubborn independence, their volatile emotions, and their seemingly erratic behavior all seemed to defy the norms of galactic civilization. Yet, at the same time, their boundless creativity, their resilience, and their sheer determination to survive in the face of adversity were qualities that Crixlix could not help but admire. As he worked alongside the humans, Crixlix found himself constantly re-evaluating his preconceptions. The insights he had gleaned from his years of study were proving to be only the tip of the iceberg when it came to understanding this complex and multifaceted species. One particularly memorable moment occurred during a routine maintenance check on the human vessel. Crixlix had been conducting a thorough inspection of the ship's systems when he stumbled upon a strange device, a small handheld object with a glowing screen and an array of buttons. Intrigued, Crixlix carefully examined the device, his multifaceted eyes scanning its every detail. As he pressed one of the buttons, the screen flickered to life, displaying a series of curious symbols and images. Suddenly, a loud voice erupted from the device, causing Crixlix to nearly drop it in surprise. "Hey, what the hell are you doing with my phone?" Whirling around, Crixlix found himself face to face with a scowling human crew member, his arms crossed over his chest. My apologies," Crixlix stammered, quickly handing the device back. "I was simply curious about this phone of yours. I've never encountered such a technology before." The human's expression softened slightly, and he took the device from Crixlix's outstretched hand. "Yeah, well, you Zentrixians or whatever may be hot stuff in the rest of the galaxy, but when it comes to human tech, you're still playing catch-up." Crixlix blinked, unsure of how to respond. He had never encountered such overt confidence and pride from a member of the human species. Most had been overwhelmed and intimidated by the sheer scale and complexity of the galactic community. The human, seemingly sensing Crixlix's bewilderment, let out a chuckle. "Don't worry, it's not your fault. Our tech may look primitive to you, but it's taken us centuries to develop. We're a pretty clever bunch, you know." Crixlix tilted his head, his antennae twitching with curiosity. "I see. Well, I must admit, I am quite intrigued by your phone and the technology it represents. Perhaps you could enlighten me further." The human's eyes lit up, and he launched into a detailed explanation of the phone's functions and capabilities. Crixlix listened raptly, fascinated by the insights into human culture and ingenuity that this simple device provided. As the conversation progressed, Crixlix found himself increasingly impressed by the human's creativity and problem-solving abilities. They may have been technologically behind the rest of the galaxy, but their sheer determination and resourcefulness were truly remarkable. When the human finally finished his explanation, Crixlix couldn't help but smile. "Thank you for sharing this with me. It is a true privilege to learn about your people's innovations firsthand. I confess I am beginning to see why Professor Zilnoth was so insistent that we not underestimate the humans." The human grinned, pocketing his phone. "Yeah, well, don't count us out just yet. We may be the new kids on the block, but we've got a few tricks up our sleeve." He paused, his expression turning more serious. "Speaking of which, how's the progress on getting our ship back up and running? I'm eager to get back home and report all this cosmic craziness to the brass." Crixlix nodded, his excitement tempered by a sense of apprehension. "The repairs are proceeding well, But there is still much work to be done. I must admit, I am uncertain as to how your people will react to the news of your encounter with the greater galactic community. The human's brow furrowed. What do you mean? You think they won't believe us? Crixlix hesitated, carefully choosing his words. It is not a matter of belief per se. I simply worry that the implications of first contact may be overwhelming for your civilization. The galaxy is a vast and complex place, with civilizations and technologies that may seem almost unimaginable to one who has only known their own world. The human's expression darkened, and Crixlix could see the underlying fear and uncertainty in his eyes. You're saying we're not ready for this, aren't you? That we're just a bunch of backwater primitives who can't handle the big bad galaxy out there? Crixlix quickly raised his hands in a placating gesture. Not at all, my friend. I simply wish to caution you that the road ahead may be fraught with challenges, both practical and philosophical. Your people have shown remarkable resilience and adaptability, but the transition to becoming an interstellar species is not one to be taken lightly. The human considered this, his gaze thoughtful. Well, you're probably right about that. Humanity's had a pretty spotty record when it comes to first contact with other cultures, even on our own planet. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. But hey, if we can survive the Cold War and the climate crisis, I'd say we're pretty damn tough. We may surprise you yet. Crixlix felt a flicker of hope at the human's words. I sincerely hope you are right, Captain Harrington. For the sake of both our peoples, I believe it is crucial that we navigate this new frontier together, with open minds and a shared commitment to understanding. The human nodded, his expression resolute. You got it, Crixlix. We may be from different worlds, but I reckon we're all in this cosmic carnival together now. Let's make the best of it, huh? Crixlix couldn't help but smile, his antennae twitching with a newfound sense of optimism. Indeed, my friend, I look forward to seeing what the future holds for our partnership. As the two parted ways, Crixlix couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement. The humans were indeed a remarkable species, far more complex and capable than he had ever imagined. And now, with this historic first contact, the galaxy was on the cusp of a new era, one in which these once isolated beings would take their place among the stars, forever changing the course of interstellar affairs. In the weeks and months that followed, Crixlix poured his heart and soul into facilitating the integration of the humans into the galactic community. He worked tirelessly to navigate the cultural divides, to broker alliances, and to ensure that this fragile new partnership would weather any storm. And as he watched the humans adapt and thrive, their ingenuity and determination shining through, Crixlix knew that he had made the right decision all those years ago. This was no longer just an academic pursuit. It was a personal mission, a quest to ensure that the humans, and all they had to offer, would find their rightful place among the stars. The road ahead would not be an easy one, Crixlix knew. There would be setbacks, misunderstandings, and perhaps even outright conflict. But he was determined to see it through, to be a bridge between these two vastly different worlds, and to usher in a new era of cooperation, discovery, and mutual understanding. As he stood on the observation deck, gazing out at the vast tapestry of the galaxy, Crixlix couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and humility. The humans, for all their flaws and contradictions, had proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. And now, with their integration into the galactic community, the possibilities were truly limitless. Crixlix smiled, his multifaceted eyes shining with anticipation. This was just the beginning, he knew. The future was bright, and he couldn't wait to see what wonders the humans would uncover, what boundaries they would push, and what impact they would have on the ever-evolving tapestry of interstellar civilization. With a renewed sense of purpose, Crixlix turned and made his way back to the docking bay, ready to embark on the next chapter of this extraordinary journey.